What if you could stay in London for $0? No hotel bill, no Airbnb, no hidden costs. Just a place to stay in one of the most expensive cities in the world, completely free. London is one of the most exciting cities anywhere on the planet. From iconic landmarks like Big Ben and Tower Bridge to world-class museums, historic markets and neighbourhoods packed with character, there's an endless amount to explore. But there's one big problem most travellers run into almost immediately: accommodation. Hotels in central London can easily cost $300 to $500 a night, and even the most modest apartments can be surprisingly expensive. So when we started planning our trip all over the UK, there was one question we had to ask ourselves. What if we could travel through all these amazing places without spending $1 on accommodation? It sounded almost impossible. But somehow we've managed to find an apartment for a 12-night free stay right in London. And that's just the beginning. Because after 12 nights in London, we're flying all the way to Dublin and we're doing it again. Another free stay in the heart of Dublin. Let's take a look. Dublin is one of those cities where history and culture seem to meet on every street corner. There are centuries-old buildings, lively pubs filled with music, and neighbourhoods where you can easily spend hours just wandering around. Places like Temple Bar, Trinity College, and the famous Book of Kells attract visitors from all over the world. Now, normally a stay in Dublin is upwards of $300 a night. But just like London, we won't be paying for any accommodation there either. We managed to arrange another completely free stay, which of course means we can explore Dublin without worrying about hotel costs adding up every night. Instead of rushing through the city, we'll be able to slow down, walk along the River Liffey, discover small cafes and experience the atmosphere that makes Dublin so special. And this is only the second destination where we're staying for $0. But the next place we're heading to, well, that just might be one of the most beautiful landscapes in all of Ireland. And again, we've managed to stay there free also. Chapter 3, Killarney. After Dublin, we head southwest towards one of the most beautiful regions in the world, Killarney. This area sits beside the Killarney National Park, a place known for its lakes, mountains and incredible scenery. It's also the gateway to the famous Ring of Kerry, one of the most scenic drives in all of the country. And for many travellers, this region ends up being the highlight of their whole trip. But accommodation in places like this can be often very expensive as well, especially during busy seasons. We're over there, in fact, in the peak season, so it's very difficult to find accommodation. I'll admit it was a little bit harder to get accommodation in Killarney, being the peak in season and all, but guess what? We found another place for $0. Instead of booking a hotel, we'll be staying somewhere that lets us experience the area more like locals. Waking up surrounded by mountains, lakes and beautiful countryside. We'll be exploring the region at our own pace. We've got 4 nights there and doing it all without paying hotel prices or Airbnb. 3 incredible destinations so far and all free stays. But our next stop, well, that might feel like stepping hundreds of years back in time, because we're heading to one of Ireland's most beautiful medieval towns. Chapter 4, Kilkenny. Next, we travel east till Kilkenny, often described as one of Ireland's most charming medieval towns. Kilkenny itself feels like you're stepping back into another era. Narrow streets lined with colourful buildings, stone bridges crossing the River Nore. And overlooking the town is the incredible Kilkenny Castle, which has stood here for centuries. Places like this are amazing and they're filled with history and character just everywhere you look. But like many popular destinations, accommodation can quickly add up for travellers visiting the area. But fortunately, I was able to secure another free stay. And this particular one is in a log cabin, very unique, and it's right in the middle of town. And because we're in town, it'll mean we get to explore all the town streets, cafes, historical sites without paying the usual hotel prices. The money we save on this accommodation can be spent on experiences. 4 destinations already and no dollars spent on accommodation. We originally wanted to stay at Kilkenny on the dates that we're staying in Killarney, but unfortunately the place wasn't available at that time, so we had to double back, and being flexible, we were able to make it work on a different date. But now the journey takes us somewhere completely different, into the rolling countryside of County Tipperary, where we'll be staying in a modern home surrounded by nature. Chapter 5, County Tipperary. From Kilkenny, we head into the countryside of County Tipperary. This is classic rural Ireland. Rolling green hills, quiet roads, and the landscapes that seem to stretch forever. And instead of a hotel or Airbnb, we'll be staying in a modern countryside property. Places like this are where you really slow down and enjoy the pace of Ireland. Morning coffee, looking across the fields, quiet drives through nearby villages, and evenings spent in small local pubs. And once again on our journey, it's another completely free stay. And so far, 5 destinations, and we've yet to spend $1 on accommodation. And the next destination is one of Ireland's most vibrant cities. And from what we've seen, it's filled with music, colour, and a lot of energy. Chapter 6, Galway. Galway is famous for its colourful streets, live music, and creative atmosphere. Street performers fill the air with music, and the city has a reputation being one of the liveliest places in Ireland. For this stop, we'll be staying in a studio apartment in County Galway. And as you can imagine, normally accommodation here costs upwards of $300 a night. But once again, we've found ourselves a free stay. And fortunately, the money we would have spent will go towards experiences. From here, we'll explore Galway's famous streets and also travel along parts of the spectacular Wild Atlantic Way. 6 destinations, 6 free stays. But the next stop, well, that takes us somewhere even wilder, right along Ireland's Atlantic coastline, and we cannot wait to see it. From Galway, we travel north along the Atlantic coast to County Sligo. This region is famous for dramatic landscapes and powerful ocean scenery. Long beaches stretch along the coastline while waves from the Atlantic roll onto the shore. And here we'll be staying in a seaside home just minutes from the ocean. And in Ireland, places like this can often be some of the most expensive places to stay. But once again, we've hooked up another stay for free. 7 destinations, 7 places to stay for free. But the next destination, well, that might be the most dramatic landscape on the entire journey. Next, we continue north to County Donegal, one of the most spectacular landscapes in Ireland. Donegal is known for its rugged coastlines, remote scenery, and towering cliffs overlooking the Atlantic. And for this stop, we'll be staying in a traditional Irish cottage, and it's about 250 to 300 years old. Exactly the kind of place people imagine when they picture the Irish countryside. Stone walls, quiet surroundings, and incredible scenery nearby. And while we're there, we'll be definitely visiting the Old Glen Bar and Restaurant. It's a similar age, 250 years old, and you've got to book well in advance, 3 months to be exact. And we'll be definitely making sure to see that. And once again, this incredible location is part of the same travel plan where we're staying completely free. 8 destinations down, 8 free stays. But just when it feels like we've reached the edge of Ireland, we head east to one of Ireland's most fascinating cities. From Donegal, we head east to Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. Belfast is a city with a fascinating history and a vibrant modern culture. It is known around the world as the birthplace of the Titanic, and today the Titanic Quarter has become one of the city's most famous attractions. But Belfast is also known for its music, street art, markets, and lively neighbourhoods. Murals across the city tell stories of its past, while modern cafes and restaurants show how much the city has evolved. And just like every other stop on this journey, we've managed to find accommodation here for free. 9 destinations, and all 9 times we've found accommodation and spent absolutely nothing. But now we cross the Irish Sea once again. We're heading back to England. After exploring Ireland, we cross the Irish Sea to Birkenhead, just across the River Mersey from Liverpool. From here, we'll be able to explore Liverpool's historic waterfront, museums, and the famous music heritage. Liverpool is known around the world as the home of the Beatles, and it remains one of the most culturally rich cities in England. And once again, we've arranged another completely free stay. 10 destinations, 10 places to stay, not $1 of accommodation. But the next stop is somewhere completely different, a historic spa town in North Yorkshire. From Birkenhead, we travel east to Harrogate, a beautiful spa town in North Yorkshire. Harrogate is famous for its elegant architecture, historic gardens, and traditional English tea rooms. One of the most famous spots here is Betty's Tea Room, which has been welcoming visitors for more than a century. And once again, we're not paying for any accommodation. 11 destinations, 11 free stays. And after all this travelling, we finally head back to where it all began, back to London. Chapter 12, the secret behind the $0 stays. By now, you must be wondering how we've managed to stay in all these homes, all across the UK, and spent nothing on accommodation. London, Dublin, Killarney, Kilkenny, Tipperary, Galway, Sligo, Donegal, Belfast, Birkenhead, Harrogate. Every single place we have not spent $1, and every single place we got free accommodation. And the reason for that is because we use a platform called Home Exchange. So here's how Home Exchange works, step by step. Number 1, reciprocal exchanges. This is the original way that Home Exchange worked with reciprocal exchanges. This is where two families stay in each other's homes at the same time. For example, if someone from England wants to visit your country, they can stay in your home while you stay in theirs. You simply agree on the dates that work for both parties, confirm the exchange through the platform, and that's it. No money, changes hands for accommodation. It's essentially a straight swap. You stay in their home and they stay in yours. And both sides receive the same benefits, a free place to stay while travelling. Number 2, guest points and their flexible exchanges. One of the most powerful parts of the home exchange system is guest points, and this is primarily what we use to get free accommodation. Guest points allow you to stay in someone else's home even if they aren't staying in yours. And here's how it works. When someone stays in your home, they give you guest points instead of swapping homes directly. You can then use those guest points to stay in any other home on the platform. For example, a couple from Canada stays in your home, they give you guest points for each night, and then later on you use those points to stay in a villa in Spain. The system makes home exchanging much more flexible because you don't need to coordinate travel dates with the same person. Number 3, searching for homes for the first time. When you first start looking for homes, you simply enter your destination, your travel dates, and the number of guests. The platform then shows you hundreds or even thousands of homes available in that area. You can filter results by things like entire homes versus apartments, pet-friendly homes, homes with pools, homes near the beach, and homes with great reviews. This helps you narrow down places that fit exactly what you're looking for. Number 4, checking host calendars for opportunities. And if you go onto the platform and you go to someone's calendar, if they're greyed out, that means those dates are unavailable. If they're green, that means the host is open to any type of exchange. If they're blue, that means they'd like to use guest points. And if they're orange, that means they're open to a reciprocal one, meaning they can only travel at the same time that you do. A good strategy is to look for homes that have open dates during your trip, show flexibility, and have completed several exchanges before. They're usually the easiest hosts to get an exchange with. Number 5, receiving exchange requests. After you set up your profile and list your home, something interesting starts happening. You'll begin receiving exchange requests from other members. People browsing your location may reach out asking if they can stay at your home during certain dates. When a request comes in, you can read their message, look at their profile, see their previous exchanges, and check their reviews. And you're never obligated to accept, it's completely up to yourself. Number 6, checking reviews before accepting an exchange. Before confirming an exchange, most hosts look at the reviews left by previous hosts. Reviews tell you a lot about what someone is like as a guest. You'll usually see comments about things like whether they've left the home clean, if they've communicated well, if they respected house rules. Many members have multiple 5-star reviews, which helps build trust in the community. If someone has great reviews and communicates clearly, It makes a decision to accept the exchange that much easier. In simple terms, home exchange works because it's built on trust, reviews, and a community of respectful travellers who treat your home the same way they'd like theirs looked after as well. I hope you've learned a little bit for those who had never heard of it, and tell me in the comments if maybe you have done it. Let me know some of your experiences. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.